In today's video, we are making a strawberry cheesecake that looks more like a tart. I know it's kind of complicated and you'll be like, what is this guy even talking about? But watch this recipe step by step, it's well worth it. The strawberries are in full season at the moment, so take full advantage of them. And if you're first time on this channel, hit that subscribe button because we have new recipes coming every single Friday. Enjoy the video. First things first, we start measuring all the ingredients for this cheesecake. That comes more in the shape of a tart than a normal traditional cheesecake. If this makes sense, after using the word cheesecake like 5 times so far, the ingredients we are preparing are for the sweet shortcrust pastry. This is a very similar recipe to the standard recipe, but with a bit of that kitchen draft twist. I'm adding ground almond flour and a bit of lemon zest. Are you using these ingredients into your sweet shortcrust pastry? Let me know in the comments down below. Sieve the flour, this will simply break any lumps they may form in it. And add 225 grams of butter together with the rest of the ingredients we've measured earlier. A free range egg and the so-called different ingredient, lemon zest. Once you've added the lemon zest, for some extra flavor, add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and don't forget a half teaspoon of salt. I know that it doesn't really look like I've added 2 exact teaspoons of vanilla, but it was somewhere close to that. Everything goes into a bowl, so now you can dive in with both hands. Nothing complicated, and there is nothing complicated until the end of this recipe, so don't worry about it. You are looking for this mixture to become one massive mass of dough without any clumps of wet or dry ingredients. Once the dough has finally come together and there are no more lumps, press it and shape it into a thick disc. Wrap it in plastic wrap and refrigerate it for at least 30 minutes, or wrap it super duper well in plastic and then place it into a resealable plastic bag into the freezer for up to a month. Fast forward and an hour later the dough is ready for rolling. Just take a small amount at first and try keeping the rest into the fridge. Keeping it outside in the room temperature will change its consistency and the butter will melt, so roll just the amount you need and be fast. Let's do it. To get to the size and shape I'm looking for this cheesecake I'm using 2 pastry cutters. I'm improvising here, and if you have better alternatives, even better, but the cutters will definitely do the job. Push, mold and form the tart shells using your fingers until the bottom and the sides have a relatively even thickness. And don't bother about being crazy precise, it's home cooking, remember? Bear in mind that by adding the almond flour the dough is a bit more crumbly, and because of this consistency it's a bit harder to keep in shape after rolling. Get this in the oven about 15 minutes at 190 degrees Celsius. And because we have plenty of dough left over, I'm gonna be making a quick and easy crumble for the cheesecake. And to give this a different vibe, I'm adding a good pinch of cinnamon, a half teaspoon of cocoa powder and a half teaspoon of custard sugar. Give this a good mix and after that bake for about 15 minutes or until the dough is cooked all the way through. Once out of the oven, using a fork, break down the cooked crumble in smaller pieces and set it aside for later. Now you can move on with the cheesecake filling. First you're gonna crack a whole egg and another one only for the yolk, followed by 4 tablespoons of custard sugar and vanilla essence, or if you have a vanilla pod, even better. Give this a good mix and place the bowl over a pan with boiling water and constantly whisk until the mix gets thicker and forms thick ribbons when you drizzle it over itself. Now you can start incorporating the cream cheese. Whisk until it gets fully absorbed into the mix and it turns into a super creamy texture. 15 minutes later and the tarts are out of the oven. Using a regular vegetable peeler, shave off all that excess tart case that is higher than the pastry cutter. Once you get the tarts in a slightly better shape, fill them up till to the top with that cream cheese mix. No more baking involved, so just add them to the fridge for about 2 hours. More than enough time to get the strawberries ready. One tablespoon of custard sugar goes straight into the pan. Once the sugar is caramelized, add the quartered strawberries. Balance the sweetness from the sugar with some lemon juice and don't cook for longer than a minute. 2 hours of wait and now we can put everything together. The cheesecake tarts are perfectly set, just what we are looking for. Add a touch of fresh mint and mix well to infuse that freshness that comes from the mint into the strawberries. And this is where our crumble goes, not just for presentation, but all those flavors that we've added earlier will simply elevate our dish. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up because this will mean the world to me. I'll see you next Friday. You keep watching and I'll keep cooking.